able to see Mike early land his jab right there that really knocked Jake back. I think that's his most effective punch of the round. But then we see
right to your left, so
the right hand grazes Mike Tyson by Jake Paul. That would have been a good shot had it been on the chin. So
Mike Tyson just dropped a bombshell about the Jake Paul fight, and trust me, it's every bit as dramatic as you'd imagine. The man known for obliterating heavy bags with punches that echo like thunder steps into the ring and, out of nowhere, seems to pull his punches. Those iconic, bone-crushing hooks, nowhere to be found. That legendary power, turned down to casual sparring mode.
You see Jake Paul land a beautiful jab with right hand first, right there, and knock Mike off balance 2 times. And Mike was highly off balance right there. I don't like how his legs look. Yeah, something wrong with the mouth gear.
That affects his oxygen intake.
Tyson's punches, the same ones that used to make opponents rethink their entire existence, looked more like playful taps on Jake Paul's shoulder. The man who turned fighters into viral sensations asterisk before asterisk viral was even a thing suddenly couldn't finish off a YouTuber with just 11 fights. Suspicious? Absolutely. But now, Tyson has spilled the tea, and let me tell you, his explanation is juicier than anything trending on X this week.
Mike Tyson people talk to. People there's certain people that are just crazy, man.
Well, these people that think that he don't stand a chance against Jake Paul, they're like, this shouldn't even, like, because he's too old. I was like, I think you're crazy.
Well, they're definitely uninformed.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: he is 57 years old. He will be 58 when they fight. He has had a long fighting career. He has been knocked out by massive men like Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield. You know, he's had a lot of blows. And he's also doing this very unique kind of training with electrical muscular stimulation.
Joe Rogan, the voice of modern combat sports, didn't hold back when analyzing the spectacle that was Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul on his podcast. Rogan couldn't help but be amazed by the surreal sight of a 58-year-old Tyson going up against a YouTuber-turned-boxer. While he acknowledged Jake's youthful energy and improving skills, Rogan couldn't overlook Tyson's decline in speed and power. Mike still has that head movement, Rogan pointed out, but the punches just aren't what they used to be. In the end, Rogan concluded that while Jake may have won, it wasn't the legendary, unstoppable Mike Tyson fans remember.
Tyson was right, and I was wrong. You know, you guys know the whole story about Shark Week, and you know, if you don't, I begged him not to do the Roy Jones fight. You're too old. I love you. I don't want to see you take any more punishment. So I set him up on Shark Week. He got paid good money. And he's like, you fucking... So he almost flipped out the last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat because he had to jump in with all these sharks again in the middle of Florida. And he's like, this fucking asshole says that, you know, he cares about me and everything else. I've been fighting since I was 12. And he throws me in the ocean with a bunch of sharks. He was right about that, too. But he basically said, I told him, Mike, you're basically 60 years old. And he's like, you honestly think this kid's going to do anything to...
Dana White just came clean. Mike Tyson was right, and Dana was totally wrong when it came to the Jake Paul fight. It's shocking, right? He had begged Tyson not to fight Roy Jones, citing his age, but somehow never thought Jake Paul would be the one to take Tyson down. But here's the thing, Tyson didn't need to knock Paul out. All he had to do was show up, cash his check, and once again prove that when Tyson's in the ring, everyone profits. Nearly 60 years old, Tyson didn't just box Jake Paul, he boxed the entire system. So the next time you settle in for a Netflix night, don't fool yourself into thinking you're about to witness the greatest live sporting event. You're just watching a payday disguised as a fight.
Was scripted. Everyone is talking about this on X, and the script was actually leaked on X. a few days ago. Now this script has went viral. Let's see how accurate it was. The opening bell rings, Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, which actually happened. As soon as the bell went, Mike Tyson came out with that head movement, pushing forward. Immediately he stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style. Now let me just stop right there. Even before I seen this script, that's exactly what was going to happen. Like, what else would happen? Would Mike Tyson...
We all hope to see Tyson land a classic KO. But let's be real, this isn't the Tyson of the 80s. As for Jake Paul, he didn't knock Tyson out because he couldn't, not for lack of trying, but because rushing in on a 58-year-old who still knows how to counter isn't worth the risk. Paul was content playing it safe, winning on points, and adding, "I beat Mike Tyson" to his resume. Was the fight scripted? No way. If it were, they need better writers, because this fight was lacking in drama and surprises. But hey, believe what you want. Tyson's already $20 million richer, and Jake Paul has another win under his belt. Meanwhile, boxing purists are drowning their sorrows in vintage fight posters.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, with some people claiming that it was rigged because many people bet a lot of money and they lost a lot of money. Allegedly, there's this script that got leaked showing how the fight was supposed to go down between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. This was actually covered by World Star Hip Hop. So let's read this alleged script and see how the fight was supposed to go down. So round one was supposed to go like this. The opening bell rings and Tyson, showing flashes of his old form, immediately stalks forward with his signature bob and weave style.
Mike Tyson just dropped a bombshell about the Jake Paul fight, and unsurprisingly, people are calling it a glorified script, not an actual boxing match. Apparently, a leaked script outlined every punch, jab, and dramatic stumble like it was straight out of a poorly written reality show. Tyson comes out in round one with his signature bob and weave, while Paul spends the round running around like he's dodging his chores.
The ring cautiously, Tyson lands a few jabs, but Paul's youth shows in his superior ability. Paul connects with a quick 1-2 combination before retreating. Tyson's timing appears slightly off, his punches a fraction slower than his prime. Round 2, Tyson comes alive, cutting off the ring more effectively. He lands a thunderous left hook to Paul's body that draws a collective gasp from the crowd. Paul weathers the storm, using his reach advantage to pepper Tyson with long jabs.
A few punches land, but shocker, Paul's youth keeps him in the lead. In round 2, Tyson delivers a body shot so powerful it leaves the crowd gasping on cue. Meanwhile, Paul, seemingly immune to fatigue, bounces around the ring like exhaustion doesn't even exist.
Like I expected it to be.
What is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer?
A very good fighter.
Do you think he deserves respect from the public?
Absolutely.
Hey, that was a good slap. I like that.
By round 3, Paul is suddenly brimming with confidence, landing punches like he's been at this for years, while Tyson's head movement slows down. In round 4, Tyson looks fatigued as Paul lands clean shots, turning the fight into a highlight reel showcasing Jake's footwork. Finally, in round 5, Paul delivers a perfectly timed combo that sends Tyson to the canvas. The 10-count hits, and Paul wins by KO. The crowd is left wondering if they just witnessed a fight or a Broadway performance. Tyson never outright claimed it was rigged, but let's be honest, it doesn't take a detective to figure out this was more scripted drama than actual boxing.
At any point, did you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit because you noticed he was tiring out?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely a bit. You know, I wanted to give the fans a show.
Apparently, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation couldn't risk a real fight, so the duo turned it into a sparring session with a sprinkle of drama. Tyson claimed it was all about giving the fans a show, but what they got was a watered-down version of boxing, where both fighters agreed not to go too hard. No knockdowns, no knockouts, just two guys playing tag in front of a paying audience. Tyson even admitted to carrying Jake Paul because, well, why not? Clearly, a YouTuber-turned-boxer needed some help to look good in the ring. Tyson had his reasons, though. He revealed he had a near-death experience earlier that year, losing half his blood and undergoing 8 transfusions. While that explained his lackluster performance, it did little to calm the fans who felt cheated.
What pleasure you can take from beating an old Mike Tyson,
I believe he actually won the first 2 rounds. Jake Paul probably won the rest of them. Mike Tyson's legs were gone, man. They were gone. And I believe Ryan, I got to give Ryan credit on this one, man. Because Ryan from Sports Wars, he did say that there would be like a no knockout.
Tony Bellew called it a circus and urged everyone to boycott Jake Paul until he steps in the ring with someone who isn't eligible for a senior discount. Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis also weighed in, with Davis calling Paul a bozo for failing to finish off a 58-year-old Tyson. Meanwhile, Paul, ever the showman, celebrated his win and even expressed interest in fighting Tyson's brother next, because nothing screams legitimacy like bouncing from one scripted spectacle to another. This fight didn't prove much, except that boxing seems willing to sell its soul for a payday. Tyson may still be a legend, but this match was more reality TV than real boxing. As for Jake, the self-proclaimed problem child, he's still waiting for a real problem to face him in the ring.